You know, there's not much that's more disappointing than smelling some good greens that have been cooking all day with bacon and their yummy goodness, and you just can't wait to eat them. But the first bite that you take, you crunch on dirt. I mean, that absolutely drives me crazy. I can't stand that. So, I'm going to show you my method of how I clean greens. Now, it don't matter what type of greens that you have right here. What I have is some sweet basil that I grew in my garden and I cut out yesterday. But this works for turnip greens, mustard greens, collard greens, spinach, whatever. Anything that's in your garden should be cleaned this way because you need to get all the dirt, all the bugs, all the nasties off of it. Okay, first things first, you want to rinse these in a colander and get most of the residual dirt off. Okay, next thing you're going to do is put it in some type of container big enough towards it'll be submerged. I've seen some people that they actually use a bucket. I happen to have this really large piece of Tupperware, so this works just fine too. So another little hint is if you pick your greens and they're wilted, no big deal. These have been sitting on the countertop in water since yesterday, and the water stays cool because it's inside. And they're very turgid right now. They're not flaccid. They're erect. They're like they're supposed to be. But they were extremely wilted whenever I brought them in because it's July. It's hot here in Oklahoma, and that's just the way it is. So after you rinse them, you want to put them in whatever container that you have, and then you want to fill that full of water. Let that sit for about 30 minutes, and you can kind of see some dirt at the bottom, but I mean, give it a swoosh every now and then like this, but don't continually do that after it's been sitting, because see what's going to happen is all that dirt is going to go right down there to the bottom, and you see how it's all swirling around because I just agitated it. So a majority of it's still down at the bottom, so I'm still good. So what you want to do after it's set for 30 minutes, because this is a several step process, this is multi-step. You want to take it out onto a clean towel. I mean, just look at all that nasty dirt that I just got. You just give it a swish every now and then, let the dirt settle, and repeat. And what you want to do is you want to rinse your container out real well, fill it full of water all over again, and repeat the process. And you want to do this at least 2 or 3 times, maybe not more. Things like collard greens, mustard greens, kale, the big, huge leafy vegetables, and even sometimes this, but not so much that because this is herbs, but a lot of moths like to lay eggs on them, and those are not soak offable. Like, you have to scrub those things off by hand. So, I mean, that is the kind of pain if you're wanting to like cook up some good greens, is you do have to scrub those off by hand. And if you do have that issue, then I'm about to post a video on how to get rid of those little critters in your garden, because those moth eggs like to produce them good old cutworms, which we absolutely hate because they destroy everything.